show? Just curious. I mean, how good was he? Right? How good was Fox? 117 to 115. Lauri Markkanen had made 3 free throws, right? He was fouled, unbelievable. And, Lauri Markkanen again. I don't know what to say. I thought the game was over. I'm following it on the Gamecast because I'm on with you now. I can't believe what I just saw. I really can't. What a game. What a game. I mean, think about this for a minute. 117 to 115, the final score. They'd given me the wrong information there for a moment. How about that? Man, you're right. I want to get to this. It did not appear that the timekeeping was good for the Jazz. It's a very good point. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Man, amazing. So, no basket. It's not good. It looked like it was good. Kings win. Light the beam. 117, 115. All right. Just curious. Anybody on the stream going to bash De'Aaron Fox like they did after the Memphis game? Just curious. What do you think? We're going to rip on Fox, or you think we're going to give that the night off? You're right, Dorian. Yeah, the starting five was good. Bench didn't do much in this game. I'm going to look at the box score right here. It's a good point by you, Jay. But, that's what happens. That's going to happen from time to time. And Sacramento goes back to 4 games over 500 at 20-16. Fox with 37, ladies and gentlemen. 37 points, 15 of 22 from the floor. Anyone want to criticize De'Aaron Fox? Just curious. Keegan Murray was good tonight. 16 points and 5 rebounds. Sabonis is Sabonis, 21, 14, and 8. Neither team shot the ball well from distance. Sacramento, 9 of 32. Utah, 13 of 44. But the Kings get the win, 117 to 115. Okay? Fox was not only good tonight, Fox was great tonight. Okay? Great tonight. I like the way the Kings started the game. Third quarter, too many turnovers, points off turnovers. They were up 109, 102 in the fourth with 3:15 left. Give the Jazz credit. They came back. Lauri Markkanen tying it at the line. But Fox the hero and Markkanen, no basket at the end. Man. You know what? I did not yet see the last foul call because I was right on the stream. So I'll have to go back and look at that. But it looks like everyone thinks that they blew the call, right? Would you say, would everyone concur, right? And you know what? You're right. Can you stop talking bad about Fox when he doesn't play well, please? That's a nice message for everyone that joins me all the time here. All right? Good stuff right here. Love it. Absolutely love it. Sea-Dog, you're right. Sabonis, you wouldn't know he has an injury. You wouldn't know that at all, right? Guy looks great. Yeah, again, I'm going to just say that everyone is correct on the foul calls. I didn't see it. I will go back and see it as soon as I get done here. So that would have been brutal to lose a game like that again. Man. Hey, you know what? At the end of a game, I'm okay with you getting on the refs. I've always said that. Refs cannot miss calls like that at the end of games. I don't have a problem with getting on the refs at the end of games. They need to be better. They need to be better. All right? Need to be better. All right. I'm not really sure I understand this. Why do you always you mean defend the refs? Because by and large, the refs do an excellent job. That's why I defend them. Not all the time, but most of the time. Good for you, Sea-Dog. Good for you. That's why. That's why. All right. Love to have you here on the stream. The Kings win 117 to 115. Fox was unbelievable. 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 Incredible. Absolutely incredible. One call is bad, but back-to-back plays resulting in 4 points in a close game. I got you. But how about the Kings holding on and persevering, right? How about that? How about that? Yep. Don't know where all the Fox haters are tonight. I really don't. I'm looking for them. I'm trying to find them. I don't see them tonight. Where do you think the Kings would be without De'Aaron Fox this year? I know where they would be without Sabonis. But man, incredible. Love getting all the messages. Kings with the victory. And the Fox detractors and critics are very, very quiet tonight. All right. Ryan in Sacktown, he's not quiet. How are you, buddy? What a game. What a finish, huh? Unbelievable.
Doing great. What a game. What a Fox. Fourth quarter. Holy moly.
Yeah, he took over the game.
Absolutely.
That's what he did. Took it over.
Yeah, he must have been watching the last post-game show we did with all the Fox haters. Started with an S, I believe. I don't know. Maybe they'll show up tonight.
I don't see him on the chat line just yet. But, we still have a lot of time, right? We still have a lot of time.
We do indeed.
The fourth quarter, do you think that's the best fourth quarter De'Aaron Fox has played this year? It's got to be right up there, right?
Absolutely. Statistically, it was the best fourth quarter of his career, 22 points. Prior career high in the fourth quarter was 20, but he's taking over the game all around. I think that was it, no doubt. What about you, Grant?
Yeah, it could be the best of his career. Thank you for the donation, Christopher, on the super chat. And you're right. Turn their sprinkler systems on. De'Aaron Fox is on fire. There you go, Christopher. Just for you, buddy. We appreciate the donation on the super chat. You know what? You just made a great point. I said the year, and you said his career. I think you're spot on. You know what? Good job on your part. I think he is in his sixth year. I think you can make that argument that was the best fourth quarter of his career. And he's had a lot of good ones, but that was the best,
Yeah. You could even have that conversation after the dunk, but then he gets that straight line drive with a layup with 0.4 seconds left. Come on. How is he that open? One, he's that quick.
Yeah.
But two, he just got whatever he wanted. He was not going to be stopped tonight.
Can we please stop with what De'Aaron Fox has got to do in the next game? Can you just freaking calm down for 30 seconds and enjoy what you just watched before you're worried about what he will not or will do in the next game? What's wrong with you people? Seriously, what the hell is wrong with you? All right. They're in the locker room. Probably. They're in the locker room right now. They're still in their uniforms probably. And you're wondering whether Fox is going to be able to do this in the next game. How about enjoy the freaking moment? Would you please enjoy the freaking moment? Unbelievable.
Well, I'll give him a little fuel. He was, and I haven't checked, but he was the only starter that was not positive in the plus negative side of the game until right there at the end. It may have changed, but
no, he ended up -6, but he played also 38 minutes. He had 37 points. He got a little sloppy with the ball a couple of times, but he played 38 minutes. Listen, 15 of 22, and again, thank you, Eli, for your donation. Thanks, on the super Eli. Chat. We greatly appreciate that,
Yep.
Of course.
Yeah,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I love when Grant gets
pissed. Yeah.
He had a little extra motivation playing in Utah. The All-Star game's there this year, Grant.
Yeah. So that's right.
Yeah, he wants to
Somebody
be back.
said they missed the game. Did the Kings win? Yes, the Kings won 117 to 115. Yes, absolutely. All right. It was a hell of a fourth quarter, No, I'm not saying that you're not happy that the Kings won. I'm saying, why are you worrying about what Fox is going to do in the next game already? Stop it. That's my point. Enjoy the game, would you please? Instead of worrying about, is he going to be able to play like this against the Hawks? Unfreaking believable. And by the way, Lauri Markkanen is a hell of a player, Dorian. You're exactly right. He is a very solid player.
Does he give you a little bit of, and I'm going to be a little over the top.
Yeah.
He's got a little Dirk in him. Would you not agree?
Yeah, he does. I think, his career is really starting to blossom I think it started off a little bit slower than some expected. He got traded. He was involved in the trade with Minnesota and Chicago, and now I think he's very comfortable in Salt Lake City. It's very apparent. He's very comfortable. And he's
Absolutely.
playing very well.
Yep. Yep.
So
That was a hell of a shot, but at the end too.
Oh.
Even though it was just late,
I mean,
when
it
he
was a
got
hell
the
of a
dog.
shot. I just saw it on and it was clearly after the time it expired, So Chicago does look stupid in letting him go. That's a great point, Lucky. You're exactly right. You are absolutely correct. Hell of a game tonight. So now the Kings did what they wanted to do in this road trip. I mean, we said this, Ryan, before the Kings left on the trip. After they had won against the Jazz in Sacramento, I said, would you take 1-1? Yes, everyone agreed they would take 1-1. You went 1-1. Not only that, you really have knocked the Jazz further down in the standings. They're going to have a very difficult time making up that kind of ground in this tight Western Conference. And now you got Zion Williamson, who's going to be out at least 3 weeks, probably more. So, you might see New Orleans at 23-14 start to come down to the pack a little bit. But the Jazz have now lost, all right? They've now lost 5 in a row, and all of a sudden they're in 10th place at 19-21. How about that?
Tells you how quick it can go in the Western Conference this year.
Absolutely.
And think about that. That's a team that's on a 5-game losing streak. They are not a bad team by any means.
No.
So,
okay. Well, no, you're exactly right. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead and finish your thought.
Oh, yeah. No, they're not a bad team by any means. And that's why when Grant and I talk about every single game, and I know it's a sports cliche, but especially this year, every game matters when the Kings are playing a team that they should win against.
All right, you ready for these scores? Here are the Jazz last 5 games. At San Antonio, lost. These are all losses. So 126-122.
Mm-hmm.
At Golden State, 112-107. At Sacramento, 126-125. Home Miami, 126-123. Tonight, 117-115. They easily could have won all 5 of those games, but they didn't. They just couldn't get over the hump at the end of the games. How about that?
Yeah, and that's how it goes. It's crunch time, and they benefited from 2 calls in the fourth quarter tonight. Those will show up in the 2-minute report, I would presume.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, that's why the end of the games and, taking care of the ball is so important, Grant, at the end of the games, because it can be a possession or 2 that wins you.
Absolutely.
It loses you.
You're right. You're right, Anita. You got to be patient with the young players. You're exactly right. 100% correct. Greetings from Lithuania. Hello in Lithuania.
Hello.
We really appreciate you being on with us at this hour over there in Lithuania. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you very much. I thought that, again, defensively, the Kings played the defense when they need to. I thought that there were some crucial stops in this game, but De'Aaron Fox was the difference in the game tonight. Plain and simple. All right? Plain and simple.
Yep. No other way to put it, Grant. And let's put it this way, too. Besides Fox, who is the story of the game, the Kings only shot, I believe, 28.1% from the three-point line tonight. And there were so many plays that they were backdoor cutting, and they were finding Keegan Murray. They were finding Harrison Barnes. And that made a huge difference because that opens up and spaces the court for a guy like Fox because it gives them more room to operate. So that's a big stat to me. You don't usually see the Kings win shooting under 35%.
No, absolutely not. And the Kings are a better team than the Jazz. Somebody said, did this go into the category of stealing a game? No, they didn't steal the game. They flat out won the game. They're a better team. And Rudy Gay is a hell of a player and was a hell of a player for Sacramento, Michael. I was not aware that the fans booed him the other night. I don't understand why you would boo Rudy Gay. The guy played his ass off. He was all in, and he was great in the locker room. I don't know why you guys would boo Rudy Gay. I mean, but whatever. I'm not going to lose sleep over it, but I didn't quite understand that.
Well, we also say De'Aaron Fox sucks, so there's a few.
That's very true. Yeah. I thought Keegan Murray was solid tonight. I mean, I thought he had a very solid game overall. I think that was a real positive. And congratulations to him for being the Western Conference Rookie of the Month.
Absolutely. He played very well on both sides, and he was one of the main guys I was talking about. Everybody thinks he's going to hang out around the 3-point line, but if he starts cutting and doing a little bit more, that's going to open up his game, and he showed that tonight. So very good.
Yeah, well, he was in basketball hell. He was playing with DeMarcus Cousins and a team that was in complete disarray. It was basketball hell. He was exactly right. That's exactly what it was. I even went on the radio the day before New Year's in Boston and said the same thing. So, I mean, come on now. All right, 117 to 115. 4 games over 500 and a long homestand coming up, Rhino. Kings have
Yes, sir.
again, I know we just said this 2 weeks ago when they came off their 3-3 road trip and we're like, oh, they're going to really pad the schedule. Not so quickly. Just take them one at a time, right?
Yeah, that's what they got to do at this point. It's the Kings versus the Kings. They're going to win a lot of ball games if they come out and play the way that they played tonight. There's no doubt about that.
All right, so why don't we go and look at the upcoming schedule for the Kings? And again, they're going to be at home for a while, and we knew that this was a stretch that was critical. So you have Atlanta, the Lakers, Orlando, 2 games with Houston before you hit the road. And again, it's not a tough road trip, basically, at San Antonio and at the Lakers. Then you're home against Oklahoma City, Philly, Memphis, and Toronto before you hit the road again for a long time before the All-Star break.
Yeah, that's going to be a nice little stretch. Obviously, like you said, a couple games on the road, but I mean, theoretically, Grant, you look at that on paper, and I think 3-2 for the first part of that before they hit the road again is realistic.
Yeah.
Atlanta, they put up 141 against the Warriors the other night. That was a little bit of a surprise. But I think the 2 with Houston, those are 2 games they should win.
I would agree with you there. So quick turnaround for the Hawks, and they are a team that's really unraveling right now, although what a hell of a game they had, their last time out against the Warriors. But if you read between the lines, something's not right with that franchise right now. And, you look at the Hawks, all right, here's their last body of work. They beat Detroit 130 to 105, and they've now lost 4 in a row. They lost Indiana on the road 129 to 114, lost to Brooklyn 108-107, lost to the Lakers 130 to 121, and lost to Golden State in double overtime 143 to 141.
Yeah, that's a tough stretch of basketball. There's no doubt about that. There's something likely going on between the lines, but, at this point, I can't put any opponent beyond the Kings.
No.
The Kings, I said this a few times before, they still have that little target on their back. So, yes. It's a statement game. It's going to get you on ESPN if you're a game or a team like the Hawks. And I mean, they're 17-19. They're not too far off from, where the Kings in the Western Conference is at towards the bottom. So, it'll be a good game. Interesting for sure.
Yeah. And again, it's a quick turnaround. So
quick.
Real quick. Atlanta didn't play. It's kind of unusual when you play only a team twice that you would face that team on back-to-backs. Like, remember when the Kings were in Atlanta? That was the second night of a back-to-back after they had beat Memphis and they lost. It's unusual. The league really tries to prevent that. When you only play a team twice, they try not to make it where you are on the second night of a back-to-back and the other team isn't. That's a little unusual.
Yeah, to try to even it out, right?
Yep.
So competitive advantage. But it's nothing the Kings can't play through. I think the Kings have shown that they can play on back-to-back nights, and hopefully they fill it up tomorrow.
All right. Great to have you here. Thank you so much for everyone that's been donating on the Super Chat. Ryan and I are grateful for that and grateful for your support. Thank you. As far as the box score tonight and minutes, listen, I think that Mike Brown at times is, and I love the way he goes offensive, defensive substitution.
Yes.
I mean, I think that's been a real positive. I really do. When I look at the box score tonight, Holmes played 9 minutes, didn't have a rebound tonight, which is a little unusual for him. And he needs to show something when he's on the floor. Tonight, his stat line was empty.
Yeah, it was fairly empty. I mean, for the most part, the bench's stat lines were empty. Let's be honest about it. The starters carried us tonight, but Mike Brown showed that he will, if you're not putting numbers up, if you are not contributing, he's going to take you out of the rotation. We've got a couple players that's happened to this season so far.
Yeah, how about the bench tonight? Only 8 points. That's a good point, Jay. But, your starters, here's the other issue. Sabonis played 39, Barnes 37, Murray 37, Fox 38, Herter 32. So,
It's
that's a
heavy
lot of
minutes.
minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah. But you
absolutely.
got to win the game. You got to win the
Yeah.
game. So,
But some of these guys are used to playing heavy minutes, and it's not shaking them yet. I mean, Murray, that was a little heavy for him. He's usually around 31, 32. He got an extra 5 tonight. I don't think it's going to affect Sabonis. He's just a machine. He's a walking triple double for the most part.
he really is. The more Sabonis gets rest minutes, the better I feel. I don't think you can rest a guy. You have to win games, and he's durable. He doesn't seem to be bothered by it, and so just got to ride the horse. Speaking of riding the horse, we're going to be right back at it tomorrow at 3:00 Pacific. Jerry Reynolds. Yes, looking forward to having Jerry on. So that's going to be tomorrow at 3:00.
Hippity hopping at 3:00.
You know what? You got these idiots that just want to pop up on the stream. Hey, DJ, let me explain something to you. Utah is a really difficult place to play. The Jazz were 12-5 at home, okay? The Kings beat a good team, not a great team. They beat a good team on the road in their building in a heated fourth quarter, okay? It was a heck of a win. Okay, it wasn't championship caliber win. It was a heck of a win. Kings played very well. They deserve to win. And you don't have to blow out a team in this league, DJ. You know what you have to do in this league? Let me give you a little word of advice and a little help. You only have to win by 1 point. Like the Kings beat the Kings beat Denver last week by 1 point. The Kings beat the Jazz last week by 1 point. And you know what happened, DJ? When I went and I looked at the standings, wow, the Kings actually moved up in the win column. Denver moved down in the loss column, all right? And so did Utah. That's amazing, isn't it? You only have to win by 1 point. There's some words of wisdom for you, sir, in 2023.
Thanks for reminding us how that works, Grant.
Yeah.
Holy moly. Come on, step it up, DJ.
Unbelievable. Amazing.
And DJ, the Kings took the Jazz, not their best shot, but the Jazz's best shot tonight.
Yes.
The Jazz scored 38 points in the third quarter, and the Kings bounced back on the road. And Grant said, loud place, hard place to play. 12-5 at home. I don't care if it's 1 point, 2 point, 20 points. It's a hell of a win.
And, the Jazz, again, they missed a very valuable player on the bench, Colin Sexton. And sometimes he starts, sometimes he doesn't. But the point is, the Kings got a break with him not being in the lineup, but that's going to happen during an 82-game schedule, and you just roll with it. So, again, 117 to 115. Raise your hand if you had the Kings at 20-16 right after the start of the new year. I don't see any hands out there. Oh, my gosh.
No.
See, I don't agree with this, though, Rich. A win is not a win. Like there are some really bad wins you can have. And I understand that if you look at the individual games, you can get carried away with that. I don't look at a win as a win. You can have bad wins. The Kings have had a couple of bad wins. They can. And I got to tell you, folks, I don't really care about being first in the Pacific. The divisions mean nothing anymore. Yeah. Like being first in the division doesn't mean anything. It's about the Western Conference standings. That's all that matters. I don't really care where they're at in the division. All you got to look at is the standings in the West. All right. So again, 117 and 115. And how about the fourth quarter? We know Fox was great, but the Kings outscored the Jazz 29-26 in the fourth quarter. I mean, again, you win on the road and you beat the team in the final 12 minutes. I love that. I absolutely love that.
Yep, that's it, and that's something the Kings haven't always done this season. That's why it's so exciting. So great to see by them. Hopefully, they can build upon that with this next stretch coming up at home, and that starts tomorrow night.
Ryan, want to help out the audience? They want your socials. You can let everyone know where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me at Ryan_in_Sacktown on Twitter, and my stuff's on Grant's page, and vice versa.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you follow me, you'll find Ryan because I'm retweeting and putting him out on all of the things that we do. So it's absolutely great. Who cares? He doesn't play for the Kings. They didn't draft him.
Yeah.
I don't really think I think a lot of rookies are struggling right now. I think even Keegan Murray has been struggling. I know he won Western Conference Player of the Month, but I didn't think he had a really good month. I mean, excuse me. I think he had an okay month above. He had his games where he didn't play well, but that's being a rookie. That's being a rookie.
It's funny you brought that up, Grant, because it did surprise me a little bit when I heard it. And when I think about the body of work, and obviously it depends on how the other rookies in the Western Conference are doing,
Mm-hmm.
but it didn't blow me away. I was like, huh, that is weird.
Yep.
But maybe he is more important to this team in that role that he's playing. And we're seeing him step up a little bit more, diving on the floor for the ball tonight. That was awesome.
Hey, Sacramento Kings wants me to know, why don't you read my message? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 exclamation points. I just read your message. Are you happy now? Thank you very much. I don't know if folks are aware of this. And first of all, really appreciate you being on the stream tonight. Yes. I'm trying to get to as many messages as I can. They come in so fast that it's difficult. Hello in Chile, Eduardo. We got Lithuania.
Eduardo.
We got Chile. Hola. Good stuff right there. How are you, Eduardo? You're great, man. Love to have you on.
Estás?
Absolutely. So do you think that the Sacramento Kings handle feels better now that I read his message?
Yeah. I mean, especially because you gave him the 5 exclamation marks.
I just read it again.
Yep.
I didn't think so. I just read 2 of your messages.
Oh, poor guy.
I'm for the people. I'm for the people.
Yeah, Grant, don't discriminate against people messaging in. Actually, Sac Kings you just got 2 in what, like 3 minutes? Come on.
Yeah. Paul, I appreciate that. NAPEAR. I'm sorry. I appreciate your love, Paul. Thank you very much, and happy New Year to you. Oh my gosh, I love it. Again, 117 to 115, and you know what's amazing? Tomorrow, all right, starts that homestand that we were talking about, and I think tomorrow's going to be a very difficult game. I really do. A lot of minutes. You're playing a team that loves pace. It's going to be a very challenging game tomorrow.
It is, but hopefully they learn something from the start of the last homestand, and they can rest up tonight. Probably a light shoot around tomorrow, if not just a walkthrough, and be ready to go. Get some loving in the training room and get a dub.
Hey, Grant, can you read this and say it feels good to be a Kings fan? Does it feel good to be a Kings fan? Well, good for you. I'm happy for you. And you should be happy tonight because the Kings won 117 to 115. Do me a favor, hit the like button. And if you have not yet already, please subscribe to the channel. We would greatly appreciate that, as we are bringing you lots of coverage this year right here on YouTube as the Kings get a 117 to 115 victory behind 37 points from De'Aaron Fox. He was unbelievable. Hello in France. Bonjour.
Bonjour.
It's trying to find sleep after this crazy ending. Nice to hear from you again. No, it's nice to hear from you. We appreciate you staying up late in the night across the pond over in France. What part of France are you in? I love France. What a great country. The French Riviera is incredible. Paris is amazing. Have you ever been to France?
I have not been to France, but
beautiful.
I've watched some videos that my parents took and pictures.
Beautiful.
They went a while ago.
I'll tell you that, I always hear about, oh, gee, the French are rude. No, they're not rude. They're not rude if you're not rude to them. And if you make just a tiny attempt to just say, just a few words in French, they respect the heck out of that. So I had a fabulous, fabulous time over in France. I booked my Maui trip today. Good for you, Adrian.
Hey, awesome. Go hit up Mama's Fish House, Adrian.
Paris, of course. Well, France is a rather large country. I can't just guess that you were in Paris, but good for you. Man, Paris is great. You really at some point have to put that on your bucket list. Paris is unbelievable.
Yeah. It's up there. So, Grant, I know that you love to travel. How many languages do you speak, or do you at least learn a little bit of the native tongue when you travel around?
I learn a little bit of German. I know how to count in Thai. I know how to say, how are you in Thai? I know how to say hello, thank you. I know how to say you're welcome. I know how to order a few things in Thai. I know food names in Thai. Like in Thailand, they have these the street food is unbelievable, but I
Yeah.
love fresh fruit, and they will just cut the fruit up right in front of you. So like watermelon is called Thang Mu. So if I want Thang Mu, they cut it right up. It's only 20 baht, which is, I mean,
Change.
it's yeah. So I'll get 2 bags of that. So I'll say song, Thang Mu, song is 2. So they appreciate that. They whenever you go to a different country, if you could just learn a few words, it's respect. It's respect. You don't have to learn the language. Just learn hello, learn thank you, learn you're welcome, learn how are you. That's it. You don't have to, you don't have to do any more than that. The locals really respect you if you attempt to just say a couple words in their language. So there you go.
Very cool. Very cool.
All right. How about this one? Greetings from Antarctica, Grant. Me and my research group are Kings fans and couldn't illegally stream it today, so we've just been watching your streams. Keep it up. Evan, thank you very much. If you don't mind me asking, what's the temperature there, Evan? What's the temperature in Antarctica? And if you don't mind me asking, how long are you there for? I would love to know about Antarctica. By the way, no disrespect, that is not on my bucket list. I've been around the world, but Antarctica is not anything that is on my list. Should I go? Wow, incredible. Thailand is a fascinating country. Nicest people, inexpensive, big cities, mountains in Chiang Mai, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful islands. It's a fabulous place. Fabulous place.
Yeah, I've heard about the street food. Like you said, that it's just supposed to be amazing and very beautiful.
Michael, if you go to Switzerland and do not go to Zermatt, you're cheating yourself. Okay? You have to go to Zermatt. Now, it is possible that if it's overcast and bad weather, you will never see the Matterhorn. But if you go there to Zermatt, which is one of the most quaint, beautiful little villages I've ever been to anywhere in the world, and you see the Matterhorn, there's really nothing like it on the planet. I mean, I really mean that.
Why is that?
I'm telling you, Zermatt is, I don't even have words. It's unbelievable. Someone says I should go to Jamaica. I've been to Jamaica before, although it was just for a day on a cruise ship. Somebody said I am in Russia. Adam, we appreciate you joining us. We got people watching from all over the world again. How great is this?
I think we're at 5 tonight. That's great.
Michael, not the Disneyland Matterhorn, Michael. That's probably not going to be the same view as going to Zermatt, Switzerland. Just a little hint that the Disneyland Matterhorn's not the real thing. Okay.
Michael, you and I were on the same page, buddy. I was thinking about our hotel room that overlooked the Matterhorn.
What am I going to do with you idiots? Seriously. I mean, you all are, Lucerne is great. Lake Lucerne, spectacular. Go out on a boat. The village is beautiful. They have that bridge that goes across the water, the walking bridge, which is great photo opportunity. Lake Lucerne, spectacular. You can go up on like a cable car up the mountain above the lake, which is spectacular. So yeah, absolutely.
Grant, something tells me you've been a travel agent in a previous life or something.
It's my passion. I study it. I love it. Do you know that I help friends plan trips?
I think you mentioned that.
Yeah, I have a friend in Miami getting married, and I'm planning their entire honeymoon, and I'm telling them what airlines to fly on. I'm picking their hotels. I'm picking the cities they're going to, and they're going to Asia, Southeast Asia. They're going to go on a really great trip, and I'm planning the whole thing for them.
Very cool. Didn't you have a friend that just let you plan the trip or honeymoon?
Yes.
And they didn't even give you a destination?
Yeah, I planned the whole thing. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. The base of the Matterhorn is spectacular. Back about, I want to say 40 years ago, we hiked up to the base of the Matterhorn, which is quite a hike. And then we went up to where the mountain climbers sleep before they get up at 4 a.m. to start their climb up the Matterhorn. And we actually slept in the same hut as the mountain climbers. And we got up with them and we watched them disappear into the night. And the only thing you could see at that hour when they started their trek were their lights on their helmet. Okay. And they were like, so it looked like stars on the Matterhorn. As you're sitting there, as the light comes up, The Matterhorn is just incredible. Now, here's something else that's amazing about the Matterhorn. Most people go up the ridge, which I've been told by a lot of the mountain climbers is not a difficult climb by climbing standards. The north face of the Matterhorn is treacherous. And that morning, 2 Japanese men went to the right. Everyone else started going up the ridge, and they ended up climbing up the face, which is one of the most challenging, difficult climbs you can make. It was spectacular to watch all of that. Spectacular.
Wow. What was the elevation at base camp when you guys spent the night there?
Oh gosh, I'll tell you right now. I'm not positive, but it's significant. You know, I could feel the altitude on my lungs here. What's the altitude at base camp of the Matterhorn? All right, so I don't know what the meters are. See, now you know, they give me the you know,
making you do math, huh? Come on.
You know, okay. So base camp, it's not terrible. It's 5,500 feet just at the base. You know, but that's at the base. So, yeah. Anyway, the Kings did win tonight, didn't they? As we are now done with our travel segment.
Sponsored
they did
by.
Win. And Fox climbed up the Matterhorn in the fourth quarter tonight, and he went up the north face, okay? And he carried the whole team with him. How's that for you?
Damn right. Damn right. Good analogy, Napes. Good analogy there.
Amazing.
So big game for the Kings. So what do you think realistically on the next 5, Grant? You think 3-2?
At the worst.
At the worst.
Now we talked about this on the last homestand, but the worst. You know, the worst 3-2. What about you?
3-2 is got to be the worst. I think 4-1 is where I'm set. I think 4-1 is very realistic. Maybe lose the opener, but they should run the next 4 after that.
Somebody wants to know what I think about the Kings obtaining Kyle Kuzma. Depends what you would have to give up for him. I like Kyle Kuzma. Yeah. I've always liked Kyle Kuzma. You know.
Yeah. Good player, good wing, stretches the floor, but it depends what you have to give up exactly.
All right.
What would you?
Go ahead.
What would you give up realistically, Grant, if Kuzma was on the table for the Kings?
It's a fabulous question. I mean, it's good. They're not going to give him away for free.
No.
Who would you be willing to part with? And that's the question. I mean, obviously Harrison Barnes I would part with, but they're not gonna do that. I wouldn't give away any of my other starters. So now you go to the bench, and they're probably gonna want, in addition to, they're gonna want a Davion Mitchell. All right.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna want, you don't have picks to give them, so it's gonna have to be players. I'll tell you, it looks like Kyle Kuzma is going to be moved before the deadline. That's what everyone thinks. You know.
Yeah, so. Maybe a Rashawn Holmes with a buyback on the contract, you think?
Yeah, for sure. But they're going to want more than that. So we'll see. All right. Hey, we appreciate the donation on the super chat. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We are with you here on a Kings victory, 117-115. Thank you very much. Appreciate your support. It has been great to see this King excel. And now they're 20-16. You know what else I love? Tonight's win was their 9th road win of the year. They're 9-1 on the road. Man, if you can come close to 500 on the road, you almost guarantee to make the playoffs.
Yeah. They're road warriors for whatever reason. And hopefully, again, that continues. But one thing is nothing's guaranteed with this team with the statistics, but that's a great stat.
Hey, hello in Vietnam. So we got Lithuania, we got Vietnam, we got Chile, and it's in the around noon or so in Vietnam right now. And I hope you're having a great time visiting your family. What part of Vietnam are you in? I've only been to Da Nang, and I went to Hoi An, and I love both of them. Went to the top of the mountain. What's that called? Ban Na Hill, which was pretty spectacular. But I have not been to any other parts of Vietnam. But someday I'll get there. You know, someday we'll get there. All right. Should you be worried about Jordy Fernandez leaving the Kings at the All-Star break to coach another team? Who's going to go coach?
The All-Star break?
I mean,
Maybe like the Rising Stars game, he's gonna coach that, but in season, I don't see him going anywhere.
Yeah.
You think Boston might want to pluck him? No.
I know
They're
the Kings are 9-9 on the road. That 500 on the road is the point I was trying to make. If I said 9-1, obviously I know they're not 9-1 on the road. But if you can go 500 on the road, you should have no problem making the playoffs. Bondi Hill is awesome. Bondi Hill is awesome. It's the longest cable car ride in the world, even more so than over the Alps in Europe or any of the others. It's a spectacular. They have a bridge up there, which is just like out of the freaking world. But good. I'm glad that you're joining us from Vietnam. 117 to 115.
Cool.
Again, Fox with 37 points. 37 points. And yes, everyone's praying for DeMar Hamlin and waiting for updates from the hospital in Cincinnati. Absolutely. All right. If you want to get more on the chat line, you can do so. We've been on for 40 minutes. We're not going to go that much longer. 500 on the road is awesome. You are absolutely correct. It is tremendous. Very few teams have 500 records or better on the road. So it is. That's a hell of an accomplishment by this team.
If they stay 500, maybe we can get a traveling beam, huh?
Yeah, you
That'd
can
be
get
hard
a traveling
to attach.
beam.
Yeah, we can probably do something. Yeah.
You should apply for that. You can travel with the team, and you can be in charge of the traveling beam. You know?
Can you imagine that job application?
Oh my gosh! All right, so in the East, here are the teams with a winning record on the road so far: Boston, Brooklyn, the Knicks of all teams, and that's it. In the West, Denver's 10-10 on the road. Okay, the Clippers are 10-10 on the road. No one else in the West is 500 or better on the road, other than those two teams and the Kings. How about that for you?
That's good company in the West. That's who you want to be up there with. So,
man, incredible. You know, Adam, I'm not going to predict how many wins, because if Sabonis gets hurt, you're going to come to a screeching halt, and if Fox gets hurt, you're going to come to a screeching halt. So, just without injuries, yeah, I could say that's very obtainable, but I still think it's unrealistic to think that, you know, the Kings are going to go the rest of the season without any serious injuries. So we'll see. I mean, just look at, for instance, the Pelicans are feeling right now without Zion Williamson, right?
The Lakers without Anthony Davis.
Yeah. Hey, Mohammed, it's very simple. They should have never fired me if they're salty about it, okay? If they're upset that I'm taking all of their viewers, they should have never fired me over All Lives Matter, every single one. So I'm not only going to beat them on YouTube, I'm going to beat them in a court of law, okay? So, yeah, that they did that. I didn't do that. That's their choice. I could have been doing a lot of things for them, but they decided they didn't want me anymore. So there you have it. You know, there you have it. Amazing. All right. Did I answer that okay, Ryan?
Yeah, you did pretty good. I was just thinking they whacked Jim Rome today too.
What?
So, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. No. KHTK whacked
Mr.
him off the program.
Mr. Clone, where are you going to watch your? Oh my gosh. You know, Sacramento is one of the best markets for Jim Rome.
I know. I had a conversation with somebody on the XR4 Ti about it.
Oh boy.
So,
wow. When as of today?
No announcement to Sacramento as of today.
Permanently?
Cowherd.
They got Colin Cowherd on instead of.
They got Cowherd on at 9:00, and then they have Maggie and Perlov from 12 to 3.
They added who?
Maggie and Perlov.
Wow.
You remember I forget his nickname on Dan Patrick's show, but it's one of Dan's Danettes and a lady named Maggie, CBS Sports Radio. Yeah.
Wow.
So
thank you, Michelle. Appreciate your support. Thank you very much. I will definitely be keeping everyone up to speed whenever it is pertinent. I love guest hosting Romy's show. I did it for a long time.
You were the best.
Well, I don't know about that. But
who I just go ahead, sorry.
No, I mean, I appreciate that, but I enjoyed doing it. It was great.
You were great at it too. You, Brian Weber, and a couple others are really, really famous guest hosts there. In fact, just on New Year's Eve, I was talking to your buddy Brad in Corona.
Good old Brad, huh? Yeah.
So
yeah, he's a beauty. All right. Well, listen, I really appreciate everyone. So does Ryan on the stream. And
Yes.
I cannot thank everyone enough. I can also say thank you to New Works Plumbing of Sacramento, locally owned for over 20 years. New Works has a fix for you. Just go to sacserviceplumbing.com or call the number on your screen. That's New Works Plumbing for all of your plumbing needs and repairs. You enjoyed the night. Guess what? We're going to be back doing it again in about 24 hours.
Yes, sir. You do the same. Can't wait. Have a great night, everybody. Grant, have a great night.
All right, you too. And again, I really appreciate everyone. I appreciate your support. Thank you so much for being right here. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button if you don't like that with Grant Napier. The Kings win 117-115. Oh!